Paula, let's talk about the acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker. As we say, he's meeting with senior ethics officials about whether or not he needs to recuse himself from any cases. What Maryland is essentially saying is what many have argued, right, which is that his appointment as acting Attorney General is unlawful. Help us break that down.
Sure. Let's take the ethics issue and then we can talk about his appointment. He is meeting with senior ethics officials at the Justice Department to look at his entire portfolio and determine whether or not there's anything he needs to recuse from, any case he may have worked on, anything where he may have an investment or an interest. And while the Justice Department will not specifically say he is consulting about the special counsel investigation, their statement said any matters that may require recusal, and clearly Russia falls into that bucket. These are the same ethics officials who former Attorney General Sessions consulted with about his decision to step aside in the Russia investigation after it was disclosed that he was not fully transparent about meetings he had with the Russian ambassador. But there is no legal requirement for Whitaker to follow their advice, no matter what it ultimately is. And with a president who I don't think would be very likely to force him to recuse, it's unclear really how much weight this will have. But as of now, we really don't know what their advice to him will be, after all. So Deputy Attorney General Rosen, he was able to oversee the investigation, even though he's a witness.
So being sued, will that have any impact on his ability to oversee the Mueller investigation?
Well, it depends what their recommendation ultimately is. If they recommend that he has to recuse himself, that would give a lot of fodder to Democrats who are already calling for him to step aside, already threatening to subpoena him. So it's unclear whether or not their recommendations will even be made public. But again, he has no legal obligation or requirement to follow what they're saying. I also want to get back to Vlad's question about his appointment. Yes, the state of Maryland is expected to file a lawsuit today challenging the fact that Whitaker was appointed acting Attorney General instead of the Deputy Attorney General who is next in the line of succession. This is just the latest jurisdiction to argue that this is unconstitutional, and that the president does not have the authority to just appoint someone to his cabinet, that these people need to be Senate confirmed. It's unclear whether or not, though, the courts will buy that argument.
You've also reported that we may be expecting some new indictments coming down today from the Mueller investigation. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I would say as soon as today. What we know is yesterday was a busy day for the special counsel. There were half a dozen special counsel investigators in the office working on a federal holiday. Among the things they were working on is the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen. He stopped by the office to continue cooperating with the Justice Department as part of his plea deal. We also know that at least one witness in the case, someone who's talked to special counsel investigators half a dozen times, that witness has said that he expects to find out today exactly what he will be charged with. He does expect to be indicted. What's unclear is when any of these charges will be filed or made public, but again, could happen as soon as today.
Is that witness Jerome Corsi, Roger Stone's friend?
Yes.
Is that who you're talking about?
Exactly, yes. It's a little bit of it's a long and winding road to explain exactly.
He's basically telling everybody that it's coming.
It is.
He's telling everyone it's coming.
Yes, exactly. On his podcast yesterday, Roger Stone's friend and associate, Jerome Corsi, said that he has spoken with special counsel 6 times. He expects to be indicted either for obstruction of justice or lying. He made this public because he is seeking money, seeking some help with his legal defense. But he is not the only one who is still under scrutiny from special counsel. And again, now that we've passed the midterms and Mueller's no longer sort of restricted by the expectation that he should not release any charges around that date, we wait and we see, but we could get new charges as soon as this week.
All right, Paula, we'll be waiting with you. Thank you.